Hello grade 6, welcome to our last week, week 7 to 8 for our English quarter 1. So for our lesson for today, making connections. This lesson highlights the context of making connections as a skill in reading or viewing that links what the learners read and viewed to what they already know or experience. This helps readers in comprehending text, passages, with videos and pictures read or viewed by activating prior knowledge and making meaning of what they read or viewed. You are expected to determine images or ideas that are explicitly used to influence viewers' point of view and make connections between information read or viewed and personal experiences. So for your learning task 1, copy the table below in your bond paper and group the words that shall go together. Then write proper heading for them based on their existing relationships or connections. For example, gardening materials, what are for the title, and then what are the group of words that shall together with the gardening materials. So we have water sprinkler, shovel, and so on. So you're going to put it in the title for gardening materials. Then put the words that is suit to the gardening materials. For learning task 2, read each statement carefully. Classify them as to text connection or text self connection or text world connection. Write your answer in your bond paper. You're not going to write all of this. You're going to write only the words for each number. Learning task 3, connect the pictures to the words related to them. Write the letters of your answer in your paper or bond paper. So for letter A, we have symptoms and prevention. B, air pollution by transportation. C, safe and unsafe surrounding. D, do regular hand washing. E, comparison of poor and rich. F, avoid touching your face. G, observe social distancing. So that is 1 to 4 only. There are 3 ways on how a learner can make connections. Text to self connections are highly personal connections that a reader makes between a piece of reading material and the reader's own experiences or life. Example: this story reminds me of a vacation we took to my grandfather's farm. Yung text to self connections, ito yung mga connections na kung saan purely personal na ginagawa ng mambabasa sa pagitan ng isang piraso ng material na pagbabasa. Ito yung mga sariling karanasan nila or buhay ng mambabasa. Halimbawa nito ay yung kwento na nagpapaalala sa kanya ng bakasyon na kinuha doon sa isang bukid ng kanyang lolo. So ito yung text to self connection. Text-to-text connections occur when readers are reminded of what they have read or viewed with the other books by the same author, stories from a similar text types, or perhaps on the same topic. Readers gain insight during reading by thinking about how the information they are reading connects to other familiar texts. Example: this character has the same problem that I read about in a story last year. Ang text-to-text connections naman ay nagaganap kapag pinapaalahanan ng mga mambabasa ng kanilang nabasa or tiningnan sa iba pang mga libro ng iisang may akda. Mga kwentong mula sa magkakatulad na uri ng teksto o marahil sa parehong paksa. Ang mga mambabasa ay nakakakuha ng pananaw sa panahon ng pagbabasa sa pamamagitan ng pag-iisip tungkol sa kung paano kumokonekta ang impormasyong binabasa nila sa ibang pamilyar na teksto. Halimbawa dito, ang tauhang ito ay may parehong problema na nababasa ko sa isang kwento noong nakaraang taon. So yan ang text-to-text connections. Text-to-world connections are the larger connections that a reader brings to a reading situation. This allows the reader's ideas about how the world works that goes far beyond own personal experiences. We learn about things through television, movies, magazines, and newspapers. Often, it is the text-to-world connections that teachers are trying to enhance when they teach lessons in science, social studies, and literature. Example: I saw a program on television that talked about things described in this article. Text-to-world connections. Ang mga connections sa text-to-world ay ang mas malaking connection na dinala ng isang mambabasa sa isang sitwasyon sa pagbabasa. So, pinapayagan nito ang mga ideya ng mambabasa tungkol sa kung paano gumagana ang mundo na higit na lampas sa sariling mga personal na karanasan. Nalaman natin ang tungkol sa mga bagay sa pamamagitan ng telebisyon, pelikula, magazine at pahayagan. Kadalasan, ang mga connection sa text-to-world na sinusubukan ng mga guro na mapagbuti kapag magtuturo sila ng mga aralin sa agham, araling panlipunan at sa panitikan. Halimbawa, nakita ko ang isang programa sa telebisyon na pinag-uusapan ang mga bagay na inilarawan sa artikulong ito. For learning task 4, examine the picture below, then answer the questions that follow. Write your answer in your paper. So, what does this remind me of in my life? How will you relate or connect the picture to your growth and development? How is it also connected to what is happening in the world today? So, you're going to answer this. You're going to examine the picture, then answer the questions that follows. The picture shows how a chicken grows from eggs to adult chicken. So we have making connections with self. Like the chicken, I also grew from a baby to a healthy big boy now, and as time goes by, I will continue to grow until I reach the peak of my growth. Making connections to the world. Like the chicken, I learned that the earth continues to grow older and time will come. It will be weakened by what we are doing, so we need to take good care of it. And lastly, making connections to the text. I also learned from one of our lessons in science that even plants grow from young to old. So that is making connections with self, making connections to the world, and making connections to the text. Point of view. In establishing connections, understanding point of view is also important. Remember that point of view can be in the first person, second person, or third person. So first person is used when I or we are used in the persuading people. Example: when I used this shampoo, it made my hair the softest and shiniest of all. Second person, the story or advertisement is told by you. Example: can have a long, shiny black hair once you use his shampoo daily. And third person, the story or advertisement is told about he or she. Example, she has the shiniest and the longest hair ever with this shampoo. Bounce back. Typhoon Nambo, the first typhoon in 2020, has brought heavy rains and strong winds that made the denuded and low-lying areas covered with floods. Some properties were destroyed, leaving people with nothing but hunger. Most of them were from Region 4A Calabar zone, especially those from the southern part of Quezon who were hit by this typhoon with the classification of TSWS number 3. This typhoon damaged not only their properties but even their sources of living. Their crops were washed out. Houses and even livestock were greatly affected. Yet, they were strong and valiant people who remained positive amidst this catastrophic event brought by this natural calamity. Consequently, their faith in the most powerful Creator remained supreme, believing that they could recover in the soonest possible time in this true test of their well-being. Finally, they repaired their houses and other properties and regained control of their livestock and crops. Learning Test 7. Read and analyze the text below. Write it in your bond paper or in your paper. Write its connection to your personal experiences, to your community, or to the world by completing the table below. So here is the paragraph. The global pandemic. Recently, the globe was alarmed with the outbreak of the new coronavirus known as COVID-19. This posed alarm to all the inhabitants of the earth. At present, it continues to affect millions of people, weakening their immune system. No vaccine is yet discovered, so people are advised to stay indoors and observe minimum health protocols set by the World Health Organization or WHO. This doesn't only affect people's health, but so with great economic losses among the countries it hits, resulting to unemployment, hunger, death toll, and increase in prices of prime commodities, making humans to suffer. What is the selection's connection to? Me, my community, the world. Learning Test 10. Study the picture below, read the short text, then answer the questions on the next page. Write your answer in your paper or bond paper. Attribute to Frontliners. Most of the countries were shocked by the spread of a new contagion that has affected millions of people. This is the COVID-19 that has posed serious threats to human health across the globe. Consequently, our doctors, nurses, uniformed personnel, volunteers, and our concerned individuals have courageously fought to prevent the spread of this pandemic, even risking their lives for the sake of mankind. They are called frontliners, our modern-day heroes. They have responded to the whole of their duties even with lack of personal protective equipment. Finally, their bravery deserves to be applauded and recognized. Salute to you, dearest frontliners. So here are the questions for attribute to frontliners. Number 1, what does this phenomenon remind you in your life? Number 2, what experience is similar to your life experiences? Number 3, how is this different from your life? 4, has something like this ever happened to you? 5, how does this relate to your life? Number 6, what were your feelings when you saw and read this text? 7, have you changed your thinking as a result of seeing or reading this? So making connections is a skill in reading or viewing that links what the learners read and viewed to what they already know or experience. This helps them comprehend text, passages, videos, and pictures read or viewed by activating their prior knowledge and making meaning of what they read or viewed. So we have 3 ways on how a learner can make connections. First, text to self occurs when we make connections between personal experience and the text. 2. Text to text occurs when we make connections between other text and the text we are reading. Third, text to world occurs when we relate the text to what we already know about the world.